You know, in our endless search for the next life hack, the next productivity secret, we tend to look forward. But today, we're going to look back. We're diving into a group of ancient masters, the 84 Siddhas. And their lives offer this powerful and, believe it or not, surprisingly modern blueprint for mastering our pretty chaotic world.
It's a wild question, isn't it? We're so focused on the latest app, the newest technique, but what if the most powerful system for actually achieving your goals has been hiding in plain sight this whole time, tucked away in stories from over 1,000 years ago?
And that's really the core of what we're talking about today. These masters figured out the true, lasting success, whether that's wealth, relationships, or just feeling fulfilled. It doesn't start out there. It starts right here, inside your own mind. So, these masters are called the Siddhas. But who exactly were these people who claim to have totally mastered the mind? Let's get into it.
Okay, so the word siddha means a perfected one. But don't let that word scare you. This isn't about being flawless. Think of it more like achieving complete mastery over your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, so that you can have a real, powerful influence on your outer reality. It is the ultimate form of self-control.
And here is maybe the most inspiring part of all of this. They weren't gods. They weren't mythical heroes born with special powers. They were ordinary people from every walk of life, people just like us who completely transformed themselves through pure dedication.
I mean, some of them were kings, people who had all the power and luxury in the world and still realized it didn't bring them any real happiness. Many were just farmers, people deeply connected to the earth, who found this incredible wisdom in their everyday work.
There were housewives managing homes and raising families who found out that the path to enlightenment was right there in their daily chores.
And get this, some were even rebels, beggars, total outcasts. Their stories shout this one powerful message. It does not matter where you come from. Your potential is your own. This path was for everyone. So, if this path was truly open to anyone, what was the blueprint they were all following? Well, the secret is actually encoded in a single, really powerful number.
And that number is 84. This was not a random choice. It was a symbolic formula, a map for unlocking total human potential. And it's built from two key ingredients, the number 8 and the number 4.
Here's how it breaks down. The 8 represents the 8 great powers of consciousness, what they call the siddhi. The 4 represents the 4 fundamental states of our awareness, being awake, dreaming, deep sleep, and that mysterious 4th state, pure consciousness. If you can master both of those, well, you've achieved total command over the entire human experience.
But it is so crucial that we understand what powers really means here. We're not talking about magic tricks or supernatural stunts. The real meaning is psychological. The Siddhas taught that true power wasn't about controlling the world around you. It was about mastering the world inside you.
Let me give you a really clear example. One of the powers is called anima, or becoming as small as an atom. Now, that's not about literally shrinking. The inner meaning is about humility. It's the ability to make your ego so small that it no longer runs the show. Honestly, in today's world, that's a real superpower.
So to see how these principles actually play out, let's look at the story of one of the most famous siddhas of them all.
This is Virupa, and for a long time he was a struggling monk. He had a hard time with discipline, he was filled with doubt. I mean, does any of that sound familiar? He was totally relatable. But one day, after a ton of practice, he had this profound awakening.
So after his big breakthrough, he finds himself at an inn having some drinks. The innkeeper comes over and asks him to pay his tab. The only problem? Virupa has no money. He's facing a very real, very down-to-earth problem.
And his response was just incredible. He pointed to the sun and said he wouldn't pay until it set. And according to the legend, for 3 straight days, the sun just froze in the sky. Time itself seemed to stop until the local king, completely bewildered, finally showed up and paid Virupa's bill for him.
So what's the real lesson in that for us? Well, the story is this powerful metaphor. Stopping the sun isn't about controlling the solar system, it's about mastering your own inner clock. When you can get that level of inner calm, all the external pressures, a looming deadline, a financial worry, they just lose their power to make you panic. You end up controlling your perception of time and stress, not the other way around.
All right, so how do we take these ancient, symbolic lessons and actually apply them to our lives today? Let's break down the key takeaways. This ancient wisdom really boils down to 5 core principles we can use right now. First, master your mind. In a world that's always changing, that inner stability is your only true anchor. Second, discipline leads to freedom. It's not about restriction, it's the structure that lets you achieve your goals. Third, your background does not define you. The Siddhas are living proof of that. Fourth, transform your suffering into strength. Every obstacle is just a lesson in disguise. And finally, you have to balance inner peace with outer action. True success is about having both.
And let's translate this into real-world results, okay? Mental mastery isn't just about feeling calm, it's about clarity. That clarity lets you spot opportunities and make better decisions, especially when you're under pressure. Inner discipline? That's the engine for things like consistent wealth building or starting a business when it gets tough. And emotional control? That is a superpower for building stronger, more trusting relationships in our hyper-connected world.
If there is just one lesson you take away from the 84 Siddhas, let it be this one. Greatness is not something you inherit. It is not about luck. It is something that is cultivated, day by day, through practice and through intention. Their stories are this powerful reminder that every single one of us, right now, carries the seed of some extraordinary potential inside. So the only question that's left, the one they're really asking us, is this: will you choose to awaken yours?